Peace. I could use a little peace right now. Peace and welcome to Not Church. We had a breaker blow right in front of the house about an hour ago, and it caused trouble with my Wi Fi. So I'm without Wi Fi today. I do have a hard line to my computer, but that's why I wasn't here saying hello to everybody. Good morning and peace to everybody this morning. This is Not Church, and I'll be reading off my iPad today because my teleprompter doesn't work because I don't have wireless. So, anyway, here we are. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here today. Peace and welcome to Not Church. Today, soul wealth. I'm Peter Panagore, MDiv. And someone asked me, what's an MDiv? A Master's of Divinity, I usually describe it as a degree in thinkology because we learn how to think. We learn analysis, historical critical thinking, and systematics based in theology. Additionally, I did 3 years of independent study, focusing my master's degree on the classics of Western spirituality and mysticism in an effort to understand my mystical experience. I found my peer group was a bunch of dead mystics who wrote books hundreds and thousands of years ago. Not Church is about mysticism, no doctrine, no dogma, and no Bravo Sierra. And what is going on with the chat? Is the chat? I'm going to interrupt. We have a commercial break. Hello. I'm going to type into the chat. Is there anybody there? It doesn't seem like the chat's working. I wonder if even I'm broadcasting. I guess I am. There's more people showing up. Hey, everybody. Just to let you know, if you just showed up, we had a breaker blow right in front of the house, which controls the power lines just below us, and it caused havoc with my wireless. I have a hard wire to the computer. Peace. But the chat doesn't seem to be working. I don't know if I shut the chat off somehow or other. The chat went off. Pop out chat participants. I don't see anybody talking to chat. If you can, please do. Let me know that you're there. I'm not sure what happened. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. Oh, maybe it's a YouTube problem. Anyway, my friends, let's get down to what we're here for today. So thanks for following me here on YouTube. And if you've been listening for a while on YouTube, please subscribe and like the video because thanks, it helps a lot of people find us. And if it's your first time here, welcome. And if you want to learn about centering prayer meditation, check the links below because we're going to meditate in just a moment. So let's begin with 3 ohms. And if you've ever gone to a yoga studio, you know how to do this. But I'm going to add to this pushing up your prana by tensioning the muscles around your first and second chakra. Tension all the muscles around your first and second chakra and right up to your deltoids. Is that what these are? As you exhale, and force that right to the vibration of your heart chakra. Oh, into the vibration of your throat, and up your jaw, right into the third eye, and that's on the exhale. And on the inhale, relax and open your crown. Let it all flow down like honey inside you. We're going to do 3 ohms, and then we're going to go into some centering prayer, which is a meditation practice of silence. And like I said, if you want to know more about it, check the link below. We do this together because together there's an exchange of energy that happens through the lens, through the microphone. Doesn't matter where we are. I discovered this light transcends and moves across the airwaves or through the wires, regardless of where we are and what time we're in. And I found this out when I was on television because I would send out the light through the TV camera, and I got a lot of response from my audience saying all sorts of stuff, which I've covered some of that here before. We're not talking about that. We're going to get into our meditation, and we're going to go into our Om first, and then into our meditation. Okay, I need this. You can see I need this. I'm going to take a moment here and settle in. relax. Breathe into your belly. Exhale. Repeat using your prayer. Because someone asked, I use the Jesus prayer. I repeat the name of Jesus over and over and over again. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. Today, we're going to talk about soul wealth. In Luke, the Gospel of Luke, according to the Gospel of Luke, which we don't know who wrote this book, we have ideas, but if you want to know more about the history of the development of the Gospels, we have some of that material in the other videos. But in Luke, Jesus says, as ascribed to say, take care, be on your guard against all types of greed. Our lives don't consist in the abundance of possessions. And then he told a parable. A person made a lot of money, and he thought, what should I do? I know. I'll invest it all and relax, eat, drink, and be merry. But that very night, he died, leaving everything behind. And this sums up Jesus. Is how it is for those who store up treasures for themselves. Wow. You know, when I first read this after I died, after I came back, and I'm looking for something to rest my elbows on, hold up my iPad a little bit here. When I first read this gospel, pericope, it's called, parable, I thought to myself, everybody dies. I died. I took nothing with me. It wasn't a thing just for the wealthy or the greedy. Nobody takes anything with them. When Jesus says, this is how it is for those who store up treasures for themselves, that's how it is for everybody. Whether you're wealthy or you're poor, makes no difference. What is he talking about? We all leave it behind. Whether we're the greedy leave it behind and the generous leave it behind. And when I was dead, I didn't miss a single one of my possessions. Not a single possession did I miss. And I don't know a single NDEer who did when she was dead. Nobody misses the things they owned. Nobody misses their money. Nobody misses their clothes. Nobody even misses their body. There's no need for greed in heaven. There's no need for me, my, mine in heaven because it doesn't exist there. In the presence of the mystery with a capital M, all our needs are fully and abundantly, immediately satisfied. With a capital S, satisfied. Nothing more is needed for joy and fulfillment. Haven't had that experience? It kind of wrecks a person for the rest of your life here. So, embodied greed. What's greed? Embodied greed, when I say embodied, I mean like the greed inside when you're alive, is an uncontrolled need or a desire for an increase in acquisitions or the use of material gains such as status or power, possessions, food, or wealth. None of these things, status, power, possessions, food, wealth, body, none of these things exist in heaven. Not where I was, anyway. In the nothingness of divine being and the presence of the love itself. See, greed, I don't think greed is either good or bad. And bear with me, because that might surprise you. But I don't think the human nature of greed is good or bad. And greed is our graspy nature. And it's understandable because it's human. We grasp at things here because in order to survive here, the more we have, the safer we are. So it's to our benefit in some way to be a little greedy for life. You want to provide for your kids or provide for yourself, and you want to do it the best way you can. Have some comfort, eat, drink, and be merry. That's not terrible. And just because the rich man had abundance, that's not the reason why he died. And it's not the reason why he couldn't bring it with him. He died because death comes, and he couldn't bring it with him because nobody can. Now, here's where I want you to understand that I have a greedy heart. Dramatic pause. I have a greedy heart. My longing is never satisfied. And by definition, I have this unattainable longing. I've had it since I came back. I've always wanted more. I've always wanted more than I can ever have here. I am always dissatisfied. What am I dissatisfied with? I've been to the abundance of heaven, and everything else is less than. The difference between my human graspiness and my heavenly graspiness is one is impermanent, the human graspiness, and my heavenly graspiness is for the permanent with a capital P. I long for heaven. I have a graspiness in my heart for heaven. The difference is that I know that in the world of impermanence, nothing satisfies me. I am never satisfied. But neither is anybody else. Everybody thinks they will be, but nobody ever really is. Not ultimately. There's always the need to replenish. I'm satisfied for now, but I'm going to be needed to be satisfied later. Again, whatever it is. I have that same sort of desire for heaven, for home, for my beloved. And I know that because I have been known by my beloved that nothing else in the world ultimately will satisfy me. And although I still have this graspy nature for heaven, I don't really have it for earth. Sure, there are things that I want, and sure, there are things that I need, things that I acquire, because I understand the value of possessions and status and wealth to bring stability, to bring some health. I mean, we all know that the people who are well off or above have better access to healthcare. They have better access to comfort. But it doesn't ever end well. Because none of those things provide the deep satisfaction that only the one thing can provide. Everybody's got this hole inside